Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Janet and I run a Depop and website called Primarie Studios where I sell secondhand and vintage fashion. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. It's not a thrift haul, although there might be one later. It's exploring a new market. So I'm going to a new one that popped up on an Instagram ad for me, which is called Come Together Market. So I just want to go and see what it's like to see if I eventually want to vend there, if I can get a spot, or if it's just like a market just to visit for fun. So let's go in and see what it's like. So welcome to Come Together Market. Let's start by interviewing a vendor.
So I'm Angel and this is Sisu Vintage. This is my baby vintage resale shop.
Okay.
I've had it for almost 3 years now.
Awesome. Do you also have a website or Depop or anything?
So my website is sisuvintage.com.
Okay.
And my Instagram is sisuvintage.usa.
Do you have a favorite item in your booth?
At the moment, I mean, going with the cowgirl theme, I love this little pearl snap dress.
Very cute. Do you prefer to have more Western style for your curation?
I like to throw it in there as, you know, we've got a little cowgirl.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. Wish it was my size.
So cute.
Yeah, I love the brooches on it.
So cute. I love leather, vintage leather, vintage suede. Also love silks and everything beaded. Just the kind of stuff that you wouldn't always find.
Yeah.
Have to make a little special occasion to wear.
I see.
I love the drama.
Do you have any specific eras that you like to source from? Or do you just kind of do everything?
I kind of have a little bit from every era, I like to say. Like, for instance, this guy is probably 100 to 110 or 20 years
Oh
old.
dang, so antique, not even vintage, it's antique.
It's past vintage.
Wow.
But then I have stuff that's, I don't know, some like 90s Y2K. It's just kind of whatever feels right. I like to go for quality over quantity. I also like to rework things.
Oh, do you have any pieces here?
So like this little girly, she was actually really long. So I say we. I just made her into a mini so she's ready for like her little cocktail hour.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like if there's anything that's a little outdated or needs some updating, I like to rework it so that it has the opportunity for a new life.
How did you get into vintage? Was it always something that you're passionate about, or?
Yeah, I've always liked it. I'm sure like many others, we grew up in thrift stores and garage sales with our parents or our moms or our aunties or grandmas. So I've basically just grown up thrifting and I studied fashion design, so I think that's kind of where the reworking and repurposing comes in. So
Okay, so it's like your whole life story is in your shop.
has come full circle.
Awesome. Can you also explain your outfit? I really like what you're wearing.
Oh, well, these are thrifted. They're falling apart. It's like vintage 60s silk, raw silk shorts. This I got on eBay.
That's gorgeous. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
So after I visited Sisu Vintage, I just looked around at some other shops. The one I just showed is Glow Vintage, which was also fun. They had a lot of other different vendors there. There was like a little craft table, some other vintage stores, some food places. But now we're going to do a spotlight on Doho design.
Baby, you give me ice and
I'm Joseph Turek. I do Doho Designs, ceramic and furniture company out of Costa Mesa, California.
Cool. And then how did you get started in doing ceramics?
I started ceramics in 6th or 7th grade. Yeah, I've been doing it almost 30 years now. Kind of did this and then photography, ceramics through high school, and then when I went to college, I ended up, getting a fine arts degree with a focus in photography and ceramics.
Okay.
So
Multi-talented.
Well, I do sculptural work as well, but with the Doho designs, I wanted to just create a functional line and most of it's just based off of ancient practices. For the public consumption, I pretty much exclusively do my hand-built ceramics because I feel like they're a little bit more unique. This is korinuki, so this is actually an ancient Japanese technique where you carve the piece from a solid block of clay. So I'll put the texture on the outside and then you wrap it in wet newspaper for up to a week and a half.
I see.
It's a really long process. Essentially it starts as a ball of clay and it's made from a pinch pot. So it's just the oldest way of working, but I try to kind of bring in a contemporary idea as far as whether it's the colors or the sort of forms or the function of the forms. A cup on average is probably maybe a 40-minute process.
Okay. For each cup, per cup. Yeah, that is a lot of labor. I feel like I also like ceramics because it's very useful. So it's a piece of art, but you can also use it in your everyday, which is also nice, right? Since it's something beautiful, but you can also use it like in your kitchen. And
100%. But yeah, that's an interesting aspect, for better or worse.
Yes.
I think it's sometimes hard for people to differentiate from what they see at Walmart or Target as a functional piece.
Versus the more like artistic but still utility.
Exactly, and the whole process is different. You know, you try to inform the consumer and let them know that there's other avenues you can go down. The more you learn, I think the more you realize that there's infinite possibilities.
Thank you so much for your time.
What was your name again?
Janet.
Janet Joey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. This is my wife Lauren.
Oh, hello. Super cute. How many months?
She's 6 months.
Don't leave me high and dry. Oh, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
So I have finished browsing the market. I bought two things, both of the boots that I bought from interviews, so you probably saw that portion already. One thing that I thought was really interesting was that there was a booth that 100% bought something from me and is reselling it. I mean, which is totally fine. I just thought that was very interesting that the same item popped up. The market was fun. I think the vintage shops there are pretty similar to me, but also different in a way. I got this top from, I think it's Sisu Vintage. It's like a silk ivory blouse. And then I also talked to Doho Designs. The top was $40 and then the mug that I purchased was $50. It's kind of expensive, obviously, but it is handmade and I think that adds a lot of value to it. I just really like the glaze on it, and I like how the mug handle is just like a little knob on the end. He also said that this is industrial grade, so it has a lot more durability than your like average mug that you would find. I am trying to support more small business just because I know how difficult it is to compete with like big, you know, box stores and stuff like that, like Walmart, as he was mentioning in the video. I don't want to forget that there's value in the items that we buy and that we should try to buy things that are higher quality and to not devalue, like, you know, an artist's work, because it's really pretty and I really like it. It's only $140, so I think I'm gonna go and thrift around this area. So I'm going to go to Salvation Army, see if there's anything there that I want to pick up for my shop and maybe for me too. So I first went to the men's shirt section because I wanted to see if I could find a few blanks to potentially make my own graphic tees, but I decided to wait until a sale. Then I stopped by the shoes and I found these really interesting like camo Y2K platform heels. Not too sure about them though. Then I also got this brocade bag, which I thought was really fun. I like the snap top, very cute. And then this Guess purse, which screams 90s, maybe Y2K. I really like the logo on this one though. I also found these awesome like vintage Reebok leather shoes. Super cool, love them. I also found these coat shoes, which I didn't think I would find. And then this pair of shoes. Now we're gonna just transition back to the vlog. I am now back from the market. This is actually the next day, so I've had about a day to reflect on whether I want to go back, whether I'd been there, or if I'd just visit, my thoughts on the location, all that stuff. So first thing, traffic. Thinking about this as a vendor, traffic is probably one of the most important things in deciding whether I want to vend at a market or not. But I did only go from about 1 to 2 p.m. or maybe like 12:30 to 2. And that's, I feel like after lunchtime is kind of when flea markets slow down. At least when I've done flea markets in the past, my perspective can be a little skewed, but I did feel like the traffic was a little bit slower than other markets that I've been to, but this market was definitely a lot smaller than the other ones I've been to. And a lot of the vendors there seem to be pretty content. It did seem like this market was a little more curated than Uptown Flea. Uptown Flea seems to take like a lot of different types of vendors. This one had mostly vintage. It had a few photography booths. The ceramic booth that I went to, I think one wellness booth. There were like 4 or 5 jewelry booths. So I would say the majority were vintage and jewelry, and it had a sprinkling of little other like small businesses as well. Uptown Flea, they have, you know, kind of all different types of vendors, all different price points. Some are vintage, some are new goods, some of them are doing like services like tooth gems and tattoos and stuff like that. It seemed like the price range of items that were sold at this market was higher. I would say within like the $40 to $100 range. And Uptown Flea, to me, it seems like it's more of like a $15 to $40 range. So there's that difference in that. Or the location is pretty different too, because Uptown Flea is in Whittier, which is more inland, and then Redondo Beach, which is, you know, right next to the pier. So I think in that sense, Come Together Market has a better chance of having like passerbys come into their market, just because, you know, it's next to the beach. So there are more people who are likely to be there on the weekend rather than just passing by the local high school. The cost to be a vendor at this market is $120. Uptown Flea right now charges about $80 per booth for a 10 by 10 space. I do want to try experimenting and seeing if I can get a spot at the Come Together Market next time, but we will see. I would say that there were about maybe like 40 vendors there, maybe less, maybe more closer to 30 vendors. It was pretty convenient to get parking and stuff, so that was not an issue. I was able to park on the street. So would I visit again and would I vend? Yes to both. I would visit again because I did like the curation of the vintage sellers that they had there. One of the vendors that I interviewed, which is Angel from Sisu Vintage, she mentioned that this had been her 4th market with Come Together Market, and they've had 5 markets so far. I think that's maybe telling that it works out for her, and if it works out for her, maybe it will for me too. So you never know until you try it out. So $120, while it feels like a lot compared to Uptown, it's still not like that bad in terms of vendor fees. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you like these flea market vlogs, and also don't forget to subscribe and like so that you can stay updated. So let me know what other types of content you'd like me to post, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!